Today on Public Eye News, in Wisconsin, historic February tornadoes dealt over $2 million in damage, and later, police have detained 3 suspects in the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade shooting.
Kieran Healy will have your sports update and weather forecast for the next couple of days. I'm Bianca Kroll.
And I'm Liam Euland-Joy, and this is Public Eye News. Extreme weather in Wisconsin caused more than $2.4 million in damages last Thursday, as for the first time, tornadoes hit the state during the month of February. Twisters tore through Rock County where they killed cattle and hit 30 homes. More than $2 million in damages were reported in the town of Porter alone, with the town of Fulton accounting for a further $320,000. According to the Weather Service, one confirmed tornado near Evansville was a high-end F2 variety, with winds reaching a top speed of 135 miles per hour. It was on the ground for 36 minutes, traveling 24.5 miles with a maximum width of 500 yards. These are the first tornadoes Wisconsin has experienced in the month of February since at least 1950, when records started being kept. And a Michigan Republican accused of taking part in a fake elector plot in the wake of the 2020 presidential election testified that he did not know how the electoral process worked. Attorney General Dana Nessel has said 77-year-old James Renner of Lansing was one of 16 Republicans who acted as false electors for then-President Donald Trump. Renner recently appeared at a hearing for a half-dozen other electors where he said he never intended to make a false public record. Charges against Renner were dropped last year after he and the state attorney general's office reached a cooperation deal. He was called to testify Wednesday by the prosecution, and during those remarks he said, quote, "We were told this was an appropriate process," end quote. And if he had known any part of it was illegal, he would have challenged it. Renner, who served in the state police in the 70s, said, quote, "My background was enforcing the law, not breaking the law," end quote.
Pete Hoekstra, former congressman, has officially been recognized by the National Republican Party as the new Michigan GOP chairman after a vote was affirmed to remove Christina Camero. This decision was made Wednesday following a vote by the Executive Committee of the Republican National Committee to recognize Hoekstra as chair and to confirm his status as voting member of the National Party. Members of the Michigan GOPD had come together last month to vote Camero out of the position, and as a result, she refused to accept. The decision from the RNC comes less than 2 weeks before the state holds its presidential primary. Hoekstra also added that Camero should end her misinformation campaign and join the fight to re-elect Donald Trump rather than dividing this party. The RNC ruling has given Hoekstra legitimacy to the position, but the following ruling is expected to come in the courts. And a business owner was found for 5 counts of Medicaid fraud for making false claims for their business. Glenn Merriweather was arraigned in the 54B District Court before Judge Lisa L. Babcock for making false claims, and for each count is a 4-year felony punishable by a fine of $50,000. Merriweather has operated Perfectionist Consulting, Inc. in Detroit since 2019. She enrolled the business in Medicaid providers and offered general life counseling services primarily for children. The business employed therapeutic mentors who were unlicensed individuals providing care while under the supervision of actual licensed individuals. A complaint was received, and the Department of Attorney General conducted an extensive investigation which found the charges against Merriweather. Quote, "My office will continue to hold accountable those who break the laws when billing the Medicaid program," end quote, said Dana Nelson. The defendant was granted a personal recognition band of $50,000, and her next due in court is February 23rd at 8:30 a.m. And last week, Governor Whitmer dedicated $4 million of Michigan's budget proposal to Farm to Family program. The director of Michigan's Department of Agriculture says the program will be game-changing. Celia Porter has more.
Michigan's Farm to Family program is an effort to support regenerative farming, agriculture supply chains, and to improve local food supply contributions. The government is hoping to work with small and medium-sized farms to get food to families' plates all across the state, providing access to fresh and healthy food to those who face food insecurity, and supporting local agriculture.
So it's really a comprehensive effort for us of building healthier systems throughout Michigan, healthier for the food that people eat, but healthier for the economies that we have in food processing, food distribution, and importantly on family farms.
Boring says that the program is a theme that comes up time and time again and is excited to see Michigan legislator in support of the program and working to make it a reality. Michigan agriculture contributes to over $104.7 billion annually to the state's economy.
We need products that are grown on those farms in schools and in hospitals, and available in stores. So you look at a place like Southwest Michigan that grows so much of these diversity of products. Like, there's no reason this stuff shouldn't be abundantly available everywhere.
The program also looking to invest in the future of agriculture by creating a path for the younger generation to grow high-value crops, all while giving back to the community.
I think it's a great opportunity for those families that are really in need and wanting healthy foods on their table.
Now don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with your weather and national news after this break.
I'm Sherry Castle. I write cookbooks, I write for food magazines, I cook, I teach, and I collect stories. And my favorite stories are the ones behind our best-loved home recipes. I will go out and explore from the ground up a few of the best ingredients that go into some of our most beloved family recipes. It's all about the food, the flavors, and finding the key ingredient.
This afternoon at 4:30.
Welcome back. I'm Karen Healy, and this is your weather report. Starting off with a look at our campus roof cam, it is snowing right now. Looks like there is some good snow accumulation on campus. And moving across the map of the UP, in Houghton it's 26 and cloudy, Ironwood it's 22 and cloudy, down in Iron Mountain it's 27 and cloudy, in Menominee, Escanaba, and Manistee it is 31 and cloudy. Moving across the other side of the map, it's 32 and cloudy in Sault Ste. Marie, and back here in our lovely Marquette, it's 26 and snowy. Taking a closer look at current conditions, winds are northwest at 24 miles an hour with a barometric pressure of 29.95 inches and rising. Tonight, it'll be cloudy with a low of 19 and winds northwest at 18 miles an hour. Taking a look at tomorrow's conditions, we'll have cloudy skies with a high of 23, a low of 12 degrees, and winds northwest at 17 miles an hour. And looking ahead through a weekend, Saturday, we'll have a high of 24, a low of 22 with some partly cloudy skies. On Sunday, we'll have a high of 27 and a low of 17 with cloudy skies. And Monday, to start off our week, we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 29 and a low of 21. That's all I've got for weather. Now back to the desk for national news.
Thanks for that weather update, Kieran. It's looking unbelievably snowy out there, but now it's time to get into some national news. Authorities said that a dispute between several people appeared to be the cause for a mass shooting that took place at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl celebration. Police Chief Stacey Graves said that 22 people injured in the shooting ranged between the ages of 8 and 47 years old. Half of them were under the age of 16, and a mother of 2 was also killed. 3 people were detained, including 2 juveniles, but no charges have been filed yet. Graves shared updates on the investigation at a news conference, saying, quote, "We are working to determine the involvement of others, and it should be noted we have recovered several firearms. This incident is still a very active investigation," end quote. And testimony by a former friend and co-worker of Fulton County DA Fani Willis threatened to derail the case accusing Donald Trump and others of conspiring to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Georgia. The individual in question testified Thursday that Willis's romantic relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade began before she hired him to lead the case against Trump. This testimony directly contradicts Willis and Wade's statements about their relationship. Ashley Merchant, an attorney representing Trump co-defendant Michael Roman, has described their relationship with Wade as a conflict of interest that should disqualify Willis and her office from the case. Merchant alleges that Willis personally benefited from the case, paying Wade more than $650,000 for his work, and then benefiting when he used his earnings to pay for vacations they took together. And the Biden administration is meeting with the leaders of Congress, the House, and Senate to brief them on new intelligence concerning Russian advances in space-based nuclear weapons. Natalie Brand has more from Washington, D.C.
The president's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, says he's briefing top congressional leaders today about what the House Intelligence Committee describes as a serious national security threat.
We believe that we can and will and are protecting the national security of the United States and the American people.
The administration hasn't divulged details, but one U.S. official pointed to the launch of a Russian rocket last week carrying a top-secret military payload.
This is one more thing to worry about in terms of Vladimir Putin and his attack on democracy and freedom.
The U.S. has been tracking Russian attempts to develop a nuclear-capable weapon that could destroy the ability to communicate by targeting satellites, which could also impact military operations. Moscow is dismissing the reports, Lawmakers briefed on the matter said it's concerning, but that the American people should not panic.
This is not an immediate crisis, and I have great confidence in the administration to deal with this.
We are going to work together to address this matter, as we do all sensitive matters that are classified.
House Intelligence Chair Mike Turner, who revealed the unspecified threat in a tweet, urged the White House to declassify information related to it so Congress, the administration, and allies can openly discuss actions necessary to respond to it. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
And we'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned.
The PBS NewsHour, putting questions to those in power.
We're in the fourth wave. There aren't enough tests. Is it time for a new approach?
Providing insight into big issues.
The speech in many ways sets the foundation for Democrats as they renew their push for voting rights.
Focusing on underreported issues.
What are these girls missing while their mothers are in prison that you're trying to help them get?
Weeknights on your PBS station and online.
Monday through Friday at 7 p.m.
It's time for our Public Eye Sports Update, and once again, I'm Kieran Healy. Jumping right into things with some NBA news. Pistons center Isaiah Stewart was arrested following an altercation with Phoenix Suns center Drew Eubanks before Wednesday's game. Eubanks claims Stewart approached him as he was entering the arena, where the two began to argue. Stewart then threw a punch and security intervened. In 2021, Stewart found himself in a similar scuffle with LeBron James from the Los Angeles Lakers that resulted in Stewart suspended for 2 games and LeBron won. Police claim Eubanks sustained minor damage from the punch, and the NBA is investigating the matter. Bouncing into the game itself, it's possible that Isaiah Stewart fired up the Suns with his pregame sucker punch, leading them to outscore the Pistons 116-110. It was Pistons head coach Monty Williams' first game in Phoenix since being fired from the team in 2021. Suns star Devin Booker was ejected 5 minutes and 24 seconds into the game following a second technical foul. That didn't keep the Suns from leading for most of the night, their greatest being a 35-point lead. Point leaders for the night were Kevin Durant with 25 for the Suns and recent acquisition Simone Fontecchio with 18 for Detroit. The Detroit Pistons play the Indiana Pacers next on February 22nd. Ripping it over to lacrosse, our NMU women's team will be facing the Lewis Flyers this Friday and the Quincy Hawks on Sunday. The Cats dominated the opener to the 2024 season over Aquinas College last weekend, outscoring them 24-5. Minnie Battelle scored 6 for the Cats that day, and after playing Friday, she will lead the program in games played. Freshman Josie Lakowski recorded a hat trick as well as an assist in her NMU debut. The Cats are 4-0 against the Flyers and 4-4 against the Hawks. Our Cats are 6-1 in their last 7 home outings, where they've outscored opponents 121-83 in that span. Good luck, Cats. That's all I've got for this sports update. Now back to the desk.
Well, thanks again for that sports update, Kieran. And I have to say, I'm very excited to see where the NMU lacrosse team goes. Seems like they've been really on a hot streak this year. But I heard you have some more stories today for us. Would you like to share them, Bianca?
I do. Tuesday, February 20th, the NMU Jazz Band and Jazz Combos will perform a free concert at 7:30 p.m. in Reynolds Recital Hall. This event will have 20 student musicians, including music majors and students of other areas of study. The performance will feature a variety of music from the roots of the 60s and straight ahead swing. Mark Flaherty will lead the NMU Jazz, while Patrick Booth will lead the smaller Jazz Combos. And a New York City man was caught and fined for smuggling 3 Burmese pythons in his pants through the U.S.-Canadian border crossing. He had hidden the snakes in the inner thigh of his pants in snake bags tied to his drawstring. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers noticed them and immediately took action. He was sentenced Wednesday to a year of probation and fined $5,000.
That's unreal. Well, that's all the time we have left for Public Eye News. I'm Liam Muellenjoy.
And I'm Bianca Kroll.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.
Thanks for watching today's episode of Public Eye News. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube down below or follow us on Instagram at NMU Penn to never miss a story.